The Jacksonville Jaguars, a team that had a very disappointing end to their season as they had a really, really strong start and then just lost a bunch of games in the second half of the season and ultimately missed the playoffs at 9-8. And the crazy thing is, the season before, people don't really realize how close that team was to potential greatness, making that crazy comeback against the Chargers and then only losing by 7 to the Chiefs, who are now obviously a dynasty, is very impressive. But unfortunately, it's about what have you done lately, and their disappointing end of the season last year is all we remember as of now. And Trevor Lawrence, a guy that is really low of an overall in Madden now, which, of course, in real life doesn't really matter, but in-game for this rebuild may play a little bit of a factor. Trevor Lawrence was definitely one of the more unluckier quarterbacks, not because of interceptions. Most of the interceptions were, in fact, his fault. A lot of bad decisions, a lot of bad reads, and, a lot of just overthrows. And the thing about that is, though, he could have had a lot more touchdowns. A lot of drop touchdowns that were in the hands of receivers, perfectly placed, and just straight up dropped. A couple that were, maybe slightly overthrown, but still should have been caught. And just overall, a lot of letdowns, and unfortunately, just not a great season overall for the team. ETN, the yards per carry, obviously, were not the best, but he's still a good back. Christian Kirk is, and let's keep it to the offense, buddy. Christian Kirk is a very solid wide receiver. Definitely got injured, obviously, and would have been on par for another, year one Christian Kirk contract, which a lot of people kind of agree, hey, maybe we should apologize for crapping on the Jaguars and him for how much he got paid. Because you look at, a guy like Calvin Ridley, ironically enough, very relevant, just got absolutely paid by the Titans, makes that Christian Kirk contract feel like a steal. And then, of course, Gabe Davis joining the team. I don't want to be that guy, all right? But I absolutely feel like his hype is still being lived off of that game against the Chiefs with the Bills, where he had 4 touchdowns or something like that in the playoffs. He's not bad, but realistically, at this point, is he not just a healthier Zay Jones? Call me crazy, but am I being crazy? Am I being dumb right now? Of course, looking at tight end, Evan Ingram, ever since he left the Giants, has been superb. The catch percentage has jumped 10 to 15% each season he's been with the Jaguars versus pretty much all of the seasons with the Giants. O-line, once upon a time, Brandon Sheriff was top tier guard. A little surprised that he's still a superstar. Not a bad lineman by any means, but I don't know how he's a superstar while you have some guys that are in the 90s that are still star. Cam Robinson, viable guy. Mitch Morse, above average center. Left guard, not really sure, 3 or 24, I suppose, in today's market is probably an average to below average lineman. And then Anton Harrison, I don't see it, but 74 overall star, I will start him. And then, of course, you look at the defensive side of things, Trayvon Walker, it's hard to judge his development compared to an Aiden Hutchinson. Let's be honest, they should have taken Aiden Hutchinson. They shouldn't have overthought it. They shouldn't have thought, I want the athleticism. Should have just taken Aiden Hutchinson. He was safer. But Trayvon Walker's not been bad. It's just they ask him to do more. They ask him to drop back into coverage, at least 5 to 10 plus times in a game. And that's obviously going to hurt your development, really, as a pass rusher because you're being dropped back. But at the same time, you can kind of argue, debatably, maybe if you are being dropped back that much, well, the coaches could be stupid. But maybe you aren't the best pass rusher in the world. It's hard to tell because he's so athletic. I can see what they're trying to do, right? Not knowing whether he's coming or going, and if he is a decent pass rusher, it's hard to game plan for that. So maybe his development's being sacrificed a little bit for the greater good of the team, which this is about in a middle of the pack defense, so it's not a bad defense by any means. Aluakun and Devin Lloyd, pretty damn good seasons. Josh Allen, really good season. I think he has a 1-year contract. I don't know if it's a 5th year, but it's a 1-year 24 regardless. We're going to end up having to pay him. He's obviously a very good pass rusher. Cisco, the safety situation, Wingard is... Well, he's Wingard. He's not going to be our future safety. They added Savage, but as a Packers fan, he's literally he had one good game last season where he was truly elite, and maybe that's what they're banking on, but a 3-year deal, I don't know. I think this team needs another safety, but as of right now, I guess you could live with Savage, but Cisco is definitely the better of the two safeties. Campbell still has yet to take that next step. He's the best corner here, but once again, that's not really saying much as this team should be looking to draft corner at 17. Maybe there's somebody else best available pick-wise that they just value more. And then D-line, Eric Armstead having his best season, a career year with the Niners, and got paid because of it. 3-year, 41, I believe. The rest do need to be replaced. And like I said, cornerback, probably the first round pick for us here. Safeties in need, obviously, interior D-line. And, I don't think we're actually kind of good on the offensive side. But really, it's interesting to see what's going to happen here because they actually look pretty developed. But the contract situation, which I gave Trevor Lawrence his 5th-year option, because I think that's the smart thing for them to do, is not the best. So I could easily see us having to definitely tear things down a little bit to try and build it up. And, of course, they also added Duvernay, which, if it was a cheap contract, which I thought it was a 2-year 8, maybe it was a different contract. I followed the whole contract thing, so we'll know everything is how it's supposed to be. I just can't really remember right now. But do I see it? Not really, but I guess the NFL is a lot about upside, isn't it? Also, if you guys are enjoying the rebuilds, maybe think about leaving a like. And if you're new, subscribing. I know I watch plenty of channels in my time, and I watch them daily, and I'm like, oh, I'm not even subscribed. Let me click that real quick. And if you're not new, I do appreciate any support on the channel. But I think biggest thing you could do is let me know what team you want to see next, because I have a lot of different teams that I can still do. The Titans, the Ravens, the Jets have added a bunch of new players. Teams like I'm trying to think. There was a team recently I was looking at. I was like, wait, they lost. Oh, yeah, the Chargers. They lost both their starting wide receivers. That's something. I have some challenge rebuild ideas, and I might even do for Sunday. But yeah, I'm always interested in what teams you guys want to see next. Or if you have an interesting challenge rebuild idea, maybe I'll check it out. And also, I'm going to try to record Spider-Man for tomorrow because I'm not going to upload on the main channel. So Spooderman tomorrow on the second channel, PK Plays. Maybe think about subscribing there. We have non-Madden content over there maybe you've never checked out. But I have done my scouting. Just wondering who's going to be there at pick 17. All right, we are in the draft. Pick 1 overall should be quarterback. The Bears have like a 62 overall there. Number 2 also should be quarterback. And number 3, I think, is quarterback because they have a low overall, and it is. So the top 3, of course, number 4, the Cardinals, I think, have been, reportedly trying to trade it down, which I guess the value is there, right? Because if there's a really high consensus that the first 3 picks are going to be QB, then, the tier 2/3s, they're going to be gone pretty quick, too. Could we see a draft where we see number 4 and 5 traded down? I think the Chargers would be crazy to trade down and just not grab a wide receiver at 5 at this rate. Where it's 5 quarterbacks in the top 5, maybe never, ever, ever going to happen again. That would be crazy. But we're not going to be seeing that here because the AI does not trade. They go with Dallas Turner, the outside linebacker, and no wide receiver for the Chargers. I have actually moved Keenan Allen to the Bears and Mike Williams, to the Jets. So I'm kind of curious to see what the Chargers are looking at. Maybe they signed a different free agent. Now they Shaheed, who's actually a pretty damn good player in real life. This you could easily roll with this. Quentin Johnston and Joshua Palmer with Shaheed. That would actually be a very, very underrated squad. But in Madden even, I still thought, there'd be a chance that they would go, that route. Trade up would be great. There's a lot of value here still, but at the end of the day, we need to save the very little draft picks we have. I swear to God, if Marvin Harrison goes to the Bears with Caleb, I'm done. The people are sleeping on the Bears. The Bears are going to be one of those from worst to first type teams. I swear they will be, and that's crazy to say as a Packers fan. But pick 17, corners alive. I think Arnold might even be there. Freaking Neighbors is there. Odunze is there. I guess Arnold did go, and I just missed him. I looked away for a split. Fautanu, not a bad. Joe Alt, yeah, I'm sure at 17. And I know a lot of you guys have been telling me to play it how it lies, which I kind of get it, right? Because we've seen Cooper DeJean go pick 13, which sure, anything can happen, but it is pretty unlikely that it does happen. But at the same time, do you really think Joe Alt's making it to 17? Neighbors to 17? Odunze to 17? Are we pulling a Tunsil here? Is that what we're thinking? And enter your favorite cornerback here, but I have not had a chance to get Cooper DeJean. I don't think he's the best fit in the world because this team does like its man coverage. So DeJean might not be the best name, but just, ignore DeJean, if you will, and just say, McKinstry or Wiggins or, Quinion Mitchell might be here instead at 17, but he's not here for us. Just assume this pick is corner, and that's all that matters. DeJean is our pick. Very versatile as well. Maybe we find a different corner, and he ends up playing safety for us. So I mean, there's options with DeJean. He's a sports guy. That's all I can say. He's a sports guy. And I know there's going to be people like, play it how it lies. I'm not playing it how it lies, because if I do, I'm taking Neighbors. And he's not there at 17. It would make it even dumber than the Jaguars taking DeJean. DeJean could be picked by the Jaguars. Unless the Jaguars trade up, they're not taking Neighbors, simply put, because he's just not going to be there. And with no third-round pick, which I imagine is from the Calvin Ridley trade, I'm very confident that's where it's from. We lost it, if you will. There's no chance to trade up. If anything, it'll be a trade down. Wide receiver is not the furthest thing from what this team needs, but I don't think we're going to go for a wide receiver in this Madden realm. In real life, you can maybe argue Christian Kirk more in the slot, but here in game, I think we're fine with Kirk and Davis starting. Could use the D-line. Dorless, maybe. O-line, Hayes. I really haven't seen... I haven't drafted guys like Hayes or Beebe or even Zinter, I don't believe. So I don't know what their devs are. Pooney, I feel dirty saying that name. But, yeah, I'm trying to think of what we need. D-line for sure. We don't really need O-line, though. I'm trying to think the biggest needs. O-line, for the future, but right now we're fine. Receivers are fine. Tight ends fine. Running backs fine. Quarterbacks fine. I guess it's really just D-line and maybe safety? Is there any value at corner? Maybe DeJean does just go to safety. Lassiter would have been interesting if he was there, but he's not. I actually don't know what to do here. This Jags team, at least on paper for Madden, doesn't need a whole lot right now. Like I said, there might be some issues with salary cap things going forward, but as of right now, we are kind of chilling. Dorless, I believe, is normal dev again, but I'm fine with developing him. I don't need a guard bad enough to waste our only pick until the 4th round on one. And then wide receivers easy. I guess I trade down at the start of the 3rd. And that's about as close as I'm going to get. 62 and 94, I believe, with the Ravens, which allows us to actually stay in this round. Could this actually be guard? And it is not. And we have Peyton Willis going there to the Lions. This team's really not in a bad spot. It still needs a rebuild in the sense that the overalls are low, but as far as having to get new talent, this team's not actually too bad off. Maybe there's a new DT name even we can go for. Any Patrick Paul. The thing about Patrick Paul is I know he is a star dev, and I feel like knowing that is a little cheese. But at the same time, Cam Robinson, don't know if we can afford him. Tez Walker, though. Because the following year, we could actually get rid of Kirk and save 14 mil. And we take the 13 mil dead hit, but we save 14 from the 27. So it's definitely interesting, but I think O-line's a bigger need. But I could use someone with a little more versatility. Guard is probably the bigger need going forward. You know what? I'm going to take Patrick Paul anyways. Even though I know he's hidden, I'm going to take him anyways because Cam Robinson might be gone. He is getting paid a lot of money right now. You save 5 mil to get rid of him. And we have this star dev waiting here. We could probably end up getting this 3rd round pick, honestly, from the Panthers with Cam Robinson. Or the Patriots, whatever team can afford him, really. We have pick 3 in this round. I'm not really sure what I'm going to go for, but we do need D-line, so if Dorless is there, that's probably the route I go. 3rd round pick is pretty high for a lineman, but it is what it is. I mean, the value is there. I don't care. What do we got? Leonard Taylor is a new name as well. I do want Dorless, but Leonard Taylor's interesting. Do we go Leonard Taylor? That's a new name for me. Leonard Taylor, why not? Normal depth, that's why. All right, pick 30 in the 3rd round. We also have 14 in the 4th round. Bullard's there, the safety. Ooh, safety edge could definitely be on my list. Got a wide receiver in McMillan and Rice. Definitely was looking at wide receiver. Maybe one of those guys is there the next round. But safety is there, and I know Bullard is normal dev. Oh, Vaki. I've never had him before, actually. I've had him on my list a few times before, but never taken him. He's a little bit on the slower side, but I'm going to take him. Normal dev, a new player. Why not? I might even start him. I'm just going to be honest with you. Savage just ain't him, especially in Madden. In real life, maybe he just was being used wrong. Because like I said, he did have a very elite game, but it was one game. But still, playing elitely once says that there's maybe something there, unless you got really lucky. But I'm going to take Brendan Rice, another taller guy. They like these 6'2", 6'3 types, so Brendan Rice is going to be my choice. Normal dev, more depth at the wide receiver position, which the depth here is actually pretty good. Then we move on to the 5th round, which I'm not sure what we have here. Keelan Carson, got some wide receivers. Max Melton Is Max, I know he's athletic, but is he around this pick? I'm going to take him anyways. But I don't know what pick he's like kind of projected to go. But I'm going to take him anyways for the depth. Go for another new name. Another tall dude. Cornelius Johnson. 91 speed, 90 excel. We got wide receivers on deck. No problems there. And I guess we take Carson Steele in the 7th round. Why not? I've seen him a billion times. I don't know how good he is, but I see him a billion times in free agency. I'm just going to take him at the 7th round spot so we have depth at running back, even though he is slow as hell. But let's see what we did for ourselves. Devon Hamilton, I mean, he's there, I suppose. I mean, this is a, 3-4? DeJean, 77 overall. Very high overall. Paul at 73, 71 for Taylor, 72 for Vaki. Rice at 70, Melton at 69, 69 for Johnson, and then 71 for Steele. DeJean, let's take a look at the man in zone coverage. 75 man, 76 zone, 82 tackle. Like I said, definitely could play safety for us and might even do so in the future. We'll see, though, as right now he is definitely going to be our cornerback, too, as we really don't have many great options there. But, yeah, I mean, definitely not going to be ruling out a potential future safety spot for him. But as of right now, I think Vaki's going to start because of the potential, and then we're going to have guys like Savage and Wingard play the backup spots. Here is the squad for year one. The receivers have potential. Christian Kirk, is he 26 at this point? I think he's 27 in real life. Yeah, he's 27. Be 28 when the season starts in real life, but thankfully it won't be until the end of the year. But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen here with him. I probably should have went with a wide receiver like Tez Walker, but I feel like it's too early to be trying to develop him with Kirk, going in the slot and just being completely wasted. O-line, we definitely need to replace at least two, the left guard and the center. I also do see Brandon Sheriff hit free agency a lot, which tells me that they usually just can't afford him. He is also a little bit on the older side for long-term success. Tight end, thankfully, Evan Ingram is a superstar because he is up there in the age as well for Madden concerns. 29 is a problem. Tight ends have been lasting a little bit longer, the truly elite ones, if you will. I don't know if I would say he's elite, but he's up there. Yeah, superstar definitely helps that aspect. And then defensively, obviously, we could use more D linemen, specifically DT, and we'll see what happens with left end. And then Armstead is on a pretty expensive contract, so there's not much to move there. Just hoping for some dev-ups like Vaki, Taylor, maybe DeJean, but I think DeJean will be fine. The question is, once again, is he going to be a safety or is he going to be a corner for the rest of this rebuild? And, well, we'll find out how the drafts go, really. And it's worth it, even if they're normal dev. Leonard Taylor III gets the dev-up star dev 20, 10K. Okay, I mean, I'll take it. We compromised. I wanted 20. He wanted less. 10K. Fair enough. And we're having a really good comeback on the season without changing these sliders. Does it say we're negotiating? Because I haven't agreed to these things. Boy, there are some names here. Oh my God, the names. Are we actually going to lose Josh Allen? I can see why they lose Sheriff these days. Oh my, there are some expensive names here. So, of course, I want to keep Tyson Campbell first and foremost. Not that corner's hard to get because the value is great and he has a very high ceiling. I really want to keep Aluakun as an X Factor. I think he's fine for some time. I think you have to keep ETN, even though in real life running backs are not the hardest thing to get. In game, they definitely are, which would leave us with 42 mil, which kind of has to go towards Josh Allen. Wait, are we actually okay? It's 29. Okay, I mean, maybe we'll have a chance here. 13 mil. Aluakun's wanting a little bit more than that, though. If we can just, we can squeeze this through. A 4-year 56. It's my dream to continue with this frame. I mean, I don't know if it's going to happen, to be honest, but... Oh, it can happen. I'm glad he didn't accept it. We got to pay Cisco. I would rather lose my inside linebacker than to lose my safety. I think I struggled drafting safety way more than linebacker. Really ridiculously bad start and a very strong finish. Didn't finish super strong because we just lost that last game. Vaki... it's going to be probably something else. It's going to be the wrong pronunciation. Someone's going to be like, can't believe you said his name like that the whole rebuild, and he was a goat. I don't know. Maybe he will be that good. But, yeah, 10-7. We started off, though, 0-4. Didn't change the scheme because I was like, you know what? The Jaguars, I think their offense is okay, and then I struggle with 3-4 defense no matter what, so it doesn't really matter to me. And I was like, maybe this is the scheme to go to, so give it a chance. Trevor Lawrence, though, pretty damn good numbers. Rushing, very ETN-like in real life, ironically enough. Gabe Davis, though, cooked. He is a superstar. I would have rather had Kirk get to superstar first, though, as he is a little bit older, so he kind of needs to stay, high dev as quickly as possible, or as long as possible. Quickly as possible makes sense, because you want to get him to not regress. Evan Ingram, though, 800 yards, 4 touchdowns. Could be enough with the yards. Zay Jones not bad at the number 3 spot. Patrick Paul only allowing 7 sacks is actually pretty good. Pass rush, Allen with 8, 5.5 for Armstead, and 5 for Walker. I love a good old 3-4. Lloyd hopefully goes to superstar. Luakan's already an X-Factor, and he's probably going to be a free agent. Sly missing 7 of his 18 kicks, 2 of them being blocked. Terrible kick return, punt return game, let's be honest. Let's just be real here. Trevor Lawrence, number 8 for MVP, though. And unfortunately, no award wins coming our way. But you know what? We made the playoffs in year 1, despite an 0-4 start. So something is on the upside. Going against the Dolphins, though, who are an 88 overall, they're pretty strong. They actually have the Jaguars' former wide receiver as well. That's a lie. I'm thinking of Kendall Fuller. The Titans have the other guy. They're both like a similar level of blue, right? Like a fluorescent neon blue. I don't even know if that's with an aqua. That's the word. I guess this team's kind of like a dark aqua, right? It's like a greenish aqua. A lot of aqua in the league. It's a pretty cool color, to be fair. 6-0, 6-3. Halftime score of that 6-3. 6-6. I guess it's field goal battles. We can't score anything, though, after those 6 points. Brother! 6 points in the playoffs. Are you kidding me? What a disappointment this offense was. That was shockingly bad. Anything? No? Okay. I mean, just what a boring game. That could very well be the most boring game in NFL playoff history. And we had the Rams versus Patriots Super Bowl, which is, basically the most boring Super Bowl ever. So, I mean, it's up there. It's up there. Breakout. Oh, yeah, I didn't even pay attention. Did we get this? Yes! Star Dev Vaki. Once again, I don't even know if that's how you say his name, but, like, how else would you say it? Maybe Vakai. Oh, no. It could be Vakai. I've really just opened up a door, haven't I? Speaking of the Rams, they're somehow in the Super Bowl. Going up against the Chiefs, and the Rams win. How? Is Stafford even there? I mean, I'm kind of curious now. Stafford, oh, Donald didn't retire, though. Cheater. Looking at Kyron Williams. Yeah, Cup. He no longer that goated in game, I'll tell you that much. But 20 mil, so maybe actually able to get a Luakan, even though I kind of ceased contract negotiations to get Cisco back guaranteed. No dev up for Evan Ingram, which is a little disappointing, but a dev up for Gabe Davis, which is very clutch. 26 years old now, superstar. 2 more years, 13 mil per year. That's fair enough. Defensively, Lloyd goes to superstar like we said he might, and that was a really nice upgrade for him. And then, of course, Taylor got that end of the season upgrade pretty much. Well, not end of season, but he had the breakout before the end of the season. Lloyd, it was a first-round player, so 5th-year option is available. I think it's probably cheaper to just go long-term, wait a season to do it, but we'll see what our options are here in a moment. I do not want to lose a Luakan, but I also do not want to pay the crazy amount he wants. But a tag, in theory, should be like 15 mil, which is kind of what he wanted in the first place. So 20 million. Franchise tag, no. This is too much money. 5th-year option for Lloyd. The problem is, that is decent money, the 10 mil, but like, if we just re-sign him now, it might be like 12 mil per year, but if I do this 5th-year option, the year later, it might be 15 mil per year, which in the end is more costly. Trayvon Walker, same situation. I think at 80 overall, it's a little bit cheaper. I think in real life, you tank both, because it's not about overalls, it's about how well they're playing. So getting an extra year for basically half the price they might be paid is definitely the smarter move. But I think we're going to save our money and just re-sign these two next season, which Lloyd at least will be a bit of a jump up. Trayvon might not actually, because he was drafted obviously very, 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 very high. But free agency, 20 mil anyways. Let's take a look. I mean, Aluakun's gone. Let's just pretend he never existed, because he's just gone. Okay, there's just no chance. 16.8 mil per year. That's like our whole money. That's all our money, and we just can't give that up for an inside linebacker when we have Lloyd, who's now a superstar. So I don't know what they're going to do in real life. Oh, I didn't even think about it. They could have probably restructured. There's probably some contracts we could have restructured. I mean, at the end of the day, we had to do what we had to do to keep Cisco, but There might be some money to restructure in here. Like, we just paid to Allen, but you can still restructure him, can't you? So free up 7 mil this year and kind of like screw us for the future. I do like a Luakon. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to get a Luakon back. I'm just hoping someone like Roy Robertson Harris and who else? Ezra Cleveland. You know, those guys kind of going will save the day, if you will. I will say, though, it'd be a pretty bad restructure from us. Why did I restructure him again? Like, could I not have just waited until after this was done and then, like, decide, hey, do we need to restructure him or not? Where the hell are we? Am I, like, a dumb? Like, are we not offering enough here? I mean, he is a great player, but, like, I can't believe this many teams are this interested. Well, we're there. We'll see. He went to the Seahawks on 3 or 50. What were we offering? Like a 3 or 55? Well, I kind of restructured for nothing. What can I say? And then Dre Greenlaw, they think, is a pass rusher. But I'm curious to see anyways. I mean, you're basically getting almost the same player. A 4-year 80, so that's $20 million per. It does put us on the highest list. If I could do a $20 million per over 3, though, then we're really talking numbers that I like to talk. Am I actually willing to do this, though? What are his actual ratings? Like, what are we looking at here? 71 block shed. He's very good in coverage. Overall, it does matter. I'm going to try to get him. It's a lot of money, but we'll see. We didn't get him? Wait, he went somewhere else? Bro, no one liked... Okay, they paid him a lot. They definitely paid him a lot. There's no arguing that. Wyatt Teller? Do I put money into Wyatt Teller now? I'm not paying a lineman. Screw this. Well, we restructured kind of for nothing. Oh, well. We have pick 24, and, man, I really wish we needed DB. There are a lot of really good DBs. This guy, Leon Cooks, he looks amazing. 5'10", but very elite in speed. You know, don't know what that man coverage is, but the press and zone is great. Gabe, not going to say the last name because it is way too bait heavy. It looks amazing. I mean, any of these guys are true number 1 corners, and we just don't need a corner. We don't need a corner 2. We don't need a free safety. We don't need a strong safety. We don't need anything. And yet, the DBs are so strong. I'm kind of curious to see what other positions we have. We had a couple of wide receivers. I didn't think they were that great. I put them on the list because there was some potential, but I'm just not going to go for them. I'm kind of thinking I might want to go for Isaac Fullen. Obviously, I've seen a lot of A's that are misleading in the past, but this guy looks really good. I mean, I would genuinely be shocked if he wasn't at minimum hidden, maybe even generational. But realistically, this team's not in a bad spot. It's just, once again, where are we going to be financially? And I think, with that being said, it's really just like we grab one DT, Hancock maybe, and that's center. So if we can try to get to, like, let's say 12 or 13 with this trade now, maybe 10, and then trade up from 24 and grab those 2 players, I'm down. Obviously, they might not be hidden. You know, they might be busts, whatever. But those are the 2 players I'm looking at, the center and the DT. Those are my dudes. I think with that being said, that is not a fair trade. I'm going to manually do this trade. I mean, I don't know if getting a late third for 4 spots seems fair, but it feels like we're getting too much there. And they did trade a little bit, the Bears, to get here, but we give them 24 for 43 and 54, which I think is like an extra 4th in value, but we've seen crazy than that. We've seen like an extra 2nd in value in the past, and we don't even know what this pick is going to be. It's going to be a left tackle. If that was the left tackle I think I seen an A on him. I don't know exactly what that A was, but I mean, might not be the worst pick in the world. Some really good corners still there. Some linebackers as well, like Ron Reed. We definitely need a middle linebacker, but there's other guys like maybe McKee, Nelson, potentially. I wish I would have scouted those guys a little bit more, but kind of didn't. Don't even know if center is our biggest need, but I just like the value here. Isaac Fullen. Hidden dev, 89 strength, 73 speed. Nothing like generational that I can see from that, but I don't know. Might still be generational. Let's go with the Cardinals now and see if we can get that nose tackle and be just happy with what we got. I mean, I'm chilling with the nose tackle, especially if he's hidden. 2nd round pick to move up 10 spots. 4th round pick to move up 10 spots, my bad. But I think that's fair, right? That's pretty fair. They offered a 3rd round spot. You know, some team offered a 3rd round to move up like 4 spots in the 1st round, so it is what it is. I really like Ron Reed, but I think there are better options, or at least other options. I also think Calhoun's great, but we need a nose tackle for this 3-4. So Marcus Hancock with the strength I'm going to take. And he's hidden dev. I don't know if he's going to be superstar, because usually the superstars you find are like 3 to 4 types, but I'm hoping. And I'm really going to look one more time at Ron Reed, because we could make yet another trade up, but that block shed is low, so I think I'm chilling. I think we're all right. I really do like Calhoun too, though. We do also have some wide receivers still there. I'm going to move on to the next pick, and we'll see what we do from there. Very next pick is in the late 3rd, so got to think about this pick, decently well. Von Bird. Wow, these wide receivers might actually suck. They're like all first round, second round, and they're all here in basically the 3rd. Obviously, the speed there makes it work. I mean, it's too early. I'm not going to go for a wide receiver. Is Calhoun there still? He's not. Thankfully so as well, because I'd be tempted. Do I really want Ron Reed, though? What are the other options? So we obviously see a D pursuit. Fast. Nelson, 21 years old. Very fast as well. I mean, this is all up in the air. I know all those. You know what? I'm just going to see all these A's and take him. Ron Reed. I knew it. I was baited. Let's go to the next pick, 24 in the 3rd. I probably could trade up, but, I mean, with no 4th round pick, I'm kind of just happy with what we got. Surely there's someone still here, and wow, I might be wrong about that. Fisher's probably still worth it, though, with an A finesse. So, B tackle, A finesse, Dante Fisher, hidden dev, the DT position, the interior position set. Even when Armstead's gone, we've got that position rolling. And maybe I should have went to the 5th round start, because, I mean, if Peterson's going to be there, the best chance he would be is, like, late 4th, early 5th. I doubt he's going to still be here. Yeah, he's gone. I mean, he could have been there, but obviously he wasn't, so it's kind of irrelevant. Brandon Gross. I'm going to take him. I think the value's there. 23 years old, but I've seen a B. I've seen some Bs in there. Finished the draft off with some pretty lackluster picks, so you don't need to see that disgustingness. But the center was a 77 overall. Maybe he actually was a generational after all. Good power blocking. Okay base blocking as well. 79, 76 for run to pass block. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe. No, but he's still a really good player. Yeah, he actually probably will start. Mitch Morse was a 2-year 10. Could probably get rid of him for a little bit of a savings. But Hancock, this is all over the place, right? You just got to keep your... 83 power move. You got to keep your hands to yourself, to be honest. Especially not over there. But yeah, I think this could be a superstar. I like that power move. It's still a starter, though. Obviously, he's going to start. Might also save money with Devon Hamilton being gone. Or he already is gone because we just... couldn't afford him. We just let him go. But let's see. Mr. Ron Reed, middle linebacker, drops 1 overall. I really want to see the other linebackers. I don't want to waste... Nice finesse. I don't want to waste all of our time looking at players that aren't even on our team because these rebuilds are already long enough. But I really do need to know how dumb I am. Sometimes I just need, somebody needs to just show me how stupid I am. So let's take a look. Reed... Woodard, I don't even know if that was a guy who was on our list, but we do have 2 other guys. I can't remember exactly who I would have had. Was Monroe on my list? Is he old? Okay, he's 23, would not have been on my list. He's hidden, but it doesn't matter. 23 for a question mark is just, it would have been too much for me. Nelson might have been on my list. He's hidden, so, there's that. Obviously, normal dev to start. It's not that hard to get, but you still want that star dev if you can get it. Star plus, if you can get it, you obviously want it. Hartwell was on my list, and Higgins was on my list. So we got Hartwell, normal, but a year younger, in fairness. So already better than our guy. Quicker to develop, less time to regress. And then Higgins, hidden development trait. Decent across the board. Let's take a look at that, dev. Another star. Please don't be superstar. Been avoiding a lot of superstar and X factors at the linebacker position lately, which is nice. And then McKee was actually on my list as well. And also hidden development trait. And insanely talented. Really good block shed and zone coverage. Watch him be a superstar. Nope, but still, I regret everything. Not a bad drop by any means, though. But, yeah, we could have done better at linebacker. Oh, well. All right, $118 million, but we do have to pay Trevor Lawrence. We do have to pay Devin Lloyd. We have to pay Evan Ingram. We have to pay Christian Kirk. We have to pay Trayvon Walker. We have to ignore Darnell Savage. Is this too early? I think I might have owed him 1 more year. Not that that's good by any means, but I do owe him 1 more year, I believe. Let's see. I had to move a lot of players over, so I might have... I did not make his contract enough. I'm not really sure how I do this now, though. I'm just going to... You know what? I owe him $8 million. So I'm just gonna do one of the. Oh crap! I can't do that though. I don't know how to do this. I guess no. I should see. He's fine. It's 2 years 16. But anyone else though? Morse, obviously not too worried about that. Anton Harrison, obviously I'm not going to do the 5th year. I'll just pay him if I want to pay him. Kirk is an interesting contract though, because I imagine he's playing pretty well still, but his overall is like 87 max. I'm not sure what to think here. I'm really not sure. I'm gonna go for the guarantees that I need to keep, like Walker, Lawrence, and Lloyd, and then we'll see what's left over. Did a 2-year 30 for Evan Ingram, which I think is perfectly fine. He's a superstar after all. And then Trayvon Walker. I think we'll be fine. It's just I don't know if we're going to be able to keep Kirk. And even if we can, I don't know if I want to. I think it's smart to move on. I think we could live with moving on. That'll be our first-round draft pick as a wide receiver. Move on sooner rather than later and develop them with the last couple of years we have left. He wanted a 5-year 190. I did a 5-year 210, and he said, I enjoyed playing for you, but I'm going to go to free agency. Like, I just don't understand what's wrong with this game. Like, if fair contract is 5-year 190, how is paying him $20 million more than that not good enough? Like, what are we doing here? Oh, and then all of a sudden, Trayvon Walker is interested in re-signing. So instead of paying the very high contract I was going to offer, actually, I don't need to move it, actually. Basically, is the long story short. We got the contract we initially offered. I don't know if the $70 million is free game or if we owe him that. Yeah, I think because he doesn't want it, the money's back to us. So we could pay that out to Kirk, but I just don't think it's worth it. He's going to regress. He's 28, going on 29. He's not even superstar. All right, a little bit of comeback on the season. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though, and it is not. 9-8, unfortunately, it will send us packing regular season-wise, as we had a really bad start, and I changed the scheme midway through the season on defense to the Steelers just to see if we get better sack numbers. But, yeah, the offensive scheme stayed the same, and that may have been the reason why we sucked, but we'll see. 3,500 yards. Oh, my God, the offense is so bad. Yards per carry for ETN's a little bit better, but, yeah, receivers, it's all over the place right now. Looking at the O-line, pretty damn good O-line numbers, though. Sacks, though, 10.5 for Walker, could go to superstar. Taylor with 7, and then Allen with only 6.5, which is just stupidly bad. Vaki with 3 interceptions, the highest on the team. Sly missing 4 out of his 19. Punting, Cook 54 total, and punt return, kick return game, no touchdowns. Award wins, anything at all? Maybe, maybe not. Rookie awards, number 2 for Reed, unfortunately. Best quarterback was at number 7. Best running back, not on the list. Best wide receiver, definitely not on the list. O-line not on the list. D-line not on the list. Linebacker at number 4 at least. And then DB not on the list. Kicker not on the list. Okay, I mean, pretty lackluster season, wouldn't you say? Trayvon Walker gets the dev up would be definitely very helpful. But other than that, there is not a whole lot going on. And then quarterback-wise, looks like we're going to be tagging Trevor Lawrence, which is super fun to do. I'm sure that won't cost $1 billion. And then, of course, you have the Chiefs versus the Cowboys in the Super Bowl, with a winner being the Chiefs. DevOps, $92 million. Have to pay our damn quarterback, though. And then, obviously, Christian Kirk's going to be gone. Evan Ingram goes to X Factor. Did give him the 2-year 30, but he did regress. I like that he's a superstar X Factor now, but he did absolutely regress. Lost 20 points. Hopefully that was because he wasn't an X Factor yet, but I do think it's just because he's on the older side now. Then we look at the defensive side of things. Trayvon goes to superstar. Vaki, who failed a breakout earlier in the season, actually gets there on his own with those 3 interceptions, it seems. Trayvon Walker, though, getting to superstar is definitely cooking. Edge, the overalls are great, but once again, it is a 3-4. Do you argue going to a 4-3? I don't know. Does every 3-4 defense in real life need to go to a 4-3 for a rebuild? I mean, maybe, possibly, but this is the squad, and yeah, wide receiver is the biggest need. Maybe there's a free agent, though, because even if we're to tag Lawrence, I think we're fine. I think we can afford to sign, even if there was a Tyreek Hill, which would be kind of crazy, but, I mean, even if there was one, we could probably roll with it. But let's see what we're looking at tag-wise, like 50, 60 million, 55.8. I mean, that's not crazy higher than what he needs to be paid anyways. And then 5-year option for Anton, not going to do it. Mid-level re-sign interest. And then Kirk did regress slightly. Not that he's a bad player, but I think we can do better. I also think this is going to be the first season where we start changing the offensive playbooks because it's just some schemes don't have it, apparently. I almost never see the Jaguars win a Super Bowl, in fairness. But free agency, we see Ronnie Stanley, Trent Brown, Kendall Fuller is in free agency. Christian Kirk, obviously, we just let him go there. And unfortunately, even though we thought maybe there would be a chance to get a better wide receiver, that option is basically not a thing. Romeo Doubs, maybe. How well has he played? Has he actually played any starting snaps? Oh, he kind of cooked for Green Bay. What is going on here? So, scheme obviously plays a big factor. 26 years old. Man, I think that ceiling's reached, brother. Maybe not. I was going to go with him. But, I mean, he's not a bad player, but I think at 26, if he's 24, maybe 26, I think the ceiling's reached. I think maybe we just trade up for a wide receiver and just call it a day. Or maybe not even have to trade up because we are 9-8, which probably gets us a top 18 pick. We might be able to get a decently high overall wide receiver, actually. We are in the draft, and I really wanted a proven wide receiver. I was going to trade for someone like DK Metcalf. I think the trade would have been like a first and a second this year, which I was willing to pay, but I didn't want to ruin the, quote-unquote, realism of the rebuild. So we're going to end up going with a wide receiver in the draft. I'm kind of torn between Thurston and Haskins. Don't know a whole lot about Thurston's here, but I did scout him further. He's like a true number 1/2 type wide receiver, but what about Haskins? He's 180, but I'm really just in the game for, getting the player that I think is going to be hidden. I really don't know, but if I had to bet, I'd bet more on Thurston. Pick 18's high, but I'm going to take him. And he is hidden. 91 speed, 91 jumping, 93 change of direction, even though excel and agility is really not that great. I don't really care about those things, though. I just care about, are they hidden? Yes or no? And if the answer is yes, yay. And now, I think I'm going to be moving to 10 or 11. And it might seem stupid, but I'm going to kind of future-proof the tight end position, I think, as I actually found a tight end that I really like here. And I mean, we're in kind of a luxury state right now, right? We don't need a running back. We don't technically need a QB, assuming we can get that contract signed. I'm going to go to 10. Usually when I say 11, it's usually 10 that I needed to go to. The Titans, I don't really care if it's interdivisional, whatever. But we don't really need much, so why not throw a 5th, grab a tight end? Throw a 5th and a 6th, grab a tight end. I don't know why we wouldn't. Throw a 5th, 6th, and then a 2 years from now 7th round pick for a tight end. I mean, if you're looking at it from the Titans' point of view, our trade up, sure, trade ups kind of seem like you're making a play, but our trade up really shouldn't be anything glaring, so I don't see why they would. Ooh, do I double down? Well, here's Henning. Looks really good. 21. Nah, I gotta go Henning. I have no choice. 89 speed, 89 excel, hidden dev, 6'4", 21 years old. I want to see Haskins, but I think that was the right call, especially since the slot speedsters a lot of times are normal dev. And we also did have this speedster wide receiver, Pharaoh, 424. Oh, I gotta trade up for him. He is elite at every single rating. That has got to be a superstar. There's some very good corners as well. You could see a Dorsett. I might risk a lot here. I might go from 18 to 1 and then try to trade up to the Bears because I think these two players that we're looking at here, especially the cornerbacks, or that cornerback, is kind of goated. I'm willing to trade these 2 picks. That's good enough. Sweet. And then try to get to the Panthers. I mean, I'll give up. I'm not really sure what I'm willing to give up, but I'm willing to give up things. Wait, Max Melton's star dev now? That's kind of cool. Oh, we don't have a center. Oh, that is very interesting. Maybe we're not as set as I thought. You know what? We need a lineman. I think even though that wide receiver looks goated, I'm going to take the corner if he's there. I think I'm taking the corner. I don't know if we even need the corner more than the wide receiver, but I think Dorsett looks can't miss. Well, the wide receiver doesn't look... Oh, he's 20 years old as well. Gotta be a god. Hidden dev. While the wide receivers can't miss as well, I think wide receivers just not as big of a need, whereas cornerback could become a need. I'm going to keep moving until we're down to literally just one lineman. And hopefully we find ourselves a starter. We're at the 3rd and 4th next year, and a 5th a year later with Gross for the 3rd round pick from the Cardinals. We saved that 2nd, but you can argue kind of costed us more in the end, and this pick was a little bit later. Sad part is I think that wide receiver's still there, which he is. So tempting, but I'm going to take the final remaining lineman that I think is good. Christie might be good, but I think money was a little bit more money, if you will. 22 years old, welcome. And he's hidden. 92 strength as well. I don't know if he's actually going to be our center or if Fullen's going to move back to center. But I think we did a really good job. Obviously cost ourselves a bit in the future, but I mean, I felt like we were grabbing guaranteed goons. Ironically, outside of Thurston. Thurston was like the one guy I had question marks about. And for the most part, I think we did cook. I think we actually did pretty good. And he's not quite the elite speed, but Jay Brown, 95 speed went up. All right, here we go. Let's see how we did. Overalls, cornerback was a goon. 73, 75, 77, 74. I definitely want to see everyone but the linemen. I don't really care too much because I guess we do need to move him anyways. But Thurston, very good catching across the board. Fair enough route running. Fair enough release. Got to take a look at him. We obviously have to look at Haskins as well because we had an opportunity to grab him multiple times. And only a star dev, which is really mid for pick 18, can't lie. Henning, though, in the second round, the trade up for an ultra-athletic player, very good stamina, toughness, and injury, tells me that they actually want this guy to succeed. Number 87, star dev. I was kind of feeling superstar, not going to lie. Then the cornerback, 77 overall. Didn't really need him, but the value felt too immense. And I think very truthful if you look at the way he is rated. Dev can't be superstar. Yeah, I was about to say, has to be star. So much potential with that age as well. He could be on this team for 15 seasons if he develops right. And then Money, I think, is going to be our right guard with Fullen moving back to center. Not bad, although that power blocking is pretty bad. Maybe he is better as a supplemental player like a center. Or not even know if I would say supplemental, but like, I don't know, like a helper? I don't even know what I would call it, but let's take a look at two players. The wide receiver in the second round, I believe that's where he went. Haskins, 74 overall. Hidden dev, 21 years old. Speed is a lot lower than his Excel. Very good catching, though. Route running's, pretty fair stuff. Let's take a look at his dev. If he's only star, we definitely took the better player, but he could be higher than that. Nope, only star, so we definitely took the better player. And then Pharaoh. I would have chosen Simpson over our guy if there was an option, and both were hidden dev. Really good pass blocking. Could definitely be a tackle instead, just with that pass block alone. Dev, star dev, didn't really matter, I guess. But let's take a look at Pharaoh, the wide receiver that we thought was probably going to be one of those superstar builds. Wait, did he not even go in the third? I mean, I don't know if I would have been able to make that trade into this round. He's still there. There's no way he went all the way to 25 to the Patriots. 71 overall. Okay, in fairness, he was normal. We kind of dodged a bullet. We almost traded a second round next year for this guy. Thankfully, I noticed we didn't have a lineman when I was looking for linemen to trade off. I was looking for excess linemen and realized we don't even have a base lineman set to even start. So we got really lucky there. That could have been a disaster, trading a second round pick for that guy. I was inches away from doing it, too. It is now Season 3. I have not decided what scheme I'm going to be running, but there's like a decent chance that I maybe go with like the Bengals scheme or something like that, trying to develop the top two wide receivers who are both kind of like possession-y type. I mean, I don't know. Diggs is definitely a lot better than Gabe, but with Diggs, what am I thinking of? Jamar Chase is way faster than Gabe. But running back, kind of mixing-y, if you will. Lawrence, poor man's Burrow. Tight end is way better than anything they've had in a long time, so maybe not. I don't know, but something's got to give because this... I didn't even think about it. Reed didn't even go up in dev, so could use a linebacker as well. Maybe we're not as set as I thought because we could use a replacement for Reed. We could definitely use another lineman or two, especially for Ezra. But I guess those are kind of the only two positions, inside linebacker and left guard. And then we'll see what happens in Lawrence because... we did have to tag him. He doesn't really seem to be super interested in sticking around, and that money's only going to keep climbing as he gets a higher and higher overall. We're at 500. We also at a broke state of mind. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is kind of not really progressing a whole lot here, but I'm willing to just pay the contract a 5-year 190. That is so much higher than he wanted there, and you can see that the money kind of dropped there from last season's ask. Because I think even his agent's maybe he's not doing as well as he could. But 95 mil, and we just paid our number one wide receiver and our starting quarterback. Anton Harrison, I really don't want to do more than a 3-year deal. So 3 or 46. You can pay some linemen, right? You can't pay all of them, but you can pay some. But $80 million in the back pocket and no one else to pay this season is crazy. Of course, going to lose Eric Armstead, but that's fine because he's obviously he's also getting older. Usually in these rebuilds, I can't afford to pay backups, but I might actually be able to afford to pay like Antonio Johnson or something. Like, why not? Add some value to the backup spot. This is really good. This is really nice. I know we do have a rookie wide receiver, and you know there's a couple other rookies maybe need to be paid soon, like DeJean, but this is actually a really well-capped team now. Ran the Falcons playbook. Didn't seem to change anything. 7-10. I don't know. I feel like we're an okay team, but obviously some positions are a little bit lower overall / younger than others, and it is a tough conference / division. So things aren't really going the way we hoped they would. As we are 7-10, missing the playoffs, they're definitely disappointing. But Trevor Lawrence, 26 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. I mean, really mid-season. But I will say, at least ETN is getting better and better each season. Thurston was okay. Davis was okay. And then Evan Ingram with all his touchdowns. Amazing. Already an X factor, though, so that's not really going to help him out. O-line wasn't bad. Defense, there we go. 11.5 for Allen. 13.5 for Walker. Could go to X factor to be the same as Allen, speaking of. Dorsett, the rookie, might even go up in Dev, just like Mr. Max Melton did the season before. Sly was pretty good, but he's going to regress even further, so I'm going to be looking for a new kicker. Yearly awards. Any awards, MVP goes to Mahomes. Thurston does win Rookie of the Year, though. 900 yards receiving. That's kind of a very common top wide receiver number these days. And a bunch of Chiefs awards, like I said. But Thurston should go up in Dev just because of that award alone. Debatably not deserved. I don't know. It is what it is. He had to beat quarterbacks for it, so cry me a river of Phillip. The Steelers! Is this a Steelers team featuring Justin Fields? There's no way Justin Fields just won a Super Bowl with the Steelers. Let's see it. I've got to see it. I am curious. He's done it, and he's a superstar. I don't even know if he got to superstar when we did the Steelers rebuild. The AI Steelers are better at rebuilding teams than me. I'm done. I'm finished. My career's over. It's over. They do have Deontay Johnson still. I forgot to make that trade, but ultimately, that's a GG. They've outdone me, and I'm a user. What can I say? It's over for me. 100 mil. Cap space. Really good. Might be time to spend a little bit of money in free agency. First things first, though, before we even look at negotiations and all that stuff, let us find out what kind of dev ups we had. We could have had one outside of Thurston, which obviously was expected. 78 overall now with Superstar Dev, Offensive Rookie of the Year. What is ratings? I think physical is probably his best bet. Deep threat's not bad, but 78 overall physical, +3 to release would be great. And that's exactly what he gets, +3 to release. 78 now, so he's in the green, which is nice to see. And then defensively, any dev ups at all? Walker, Superstar, X Factor. Cisco, Superstar. 27. Oh, he's 27 now. Don't know what it is about Cisco, but his development in Sim, even though he's like 80, 81 overall, out the gate, it just isn't there. It just really isn't there, but he's still fine. It's fair enough. And then Trayvon gets the Superstar X Factor. Glad to see him develop, though. Glad to see him to actually get double-digit sacks with back-to-back seasons now, 10.5 into 13.5. No dev-ups for the corners, but the safeties are both superstars, so we do have a lot of depth at cornerback. We need a new right end, debatably, as once again we have Fisher here, but he is 24 years old and he hasn't actually started, so we'll have to see what we got there. That position is a very expensive one to re-sign as well, so we'll have to debate on what we want to do there, but middle linebacker maybe, left guard probably, and then I guess maybe right end anyways, just to bolster it up, but with no third or fourth round pick, we'll see what we can even accomplish. 100 mil. Chris Jones on the list, and he could be superb. Would I expect him to be a free agent? Probably not, but 33 years old is 33 years old. He would have to be a cap casualty, though, because then they just offer him like a massive 5-year deal or something like that. I mean, it could happen, right? It very well could happen, but I'm going to keep this thing to not that level of quote-unquote unrealisticness, whatever you want to call it. And unfortunately, I will have to pass on him. Kicker, a lot of old men here. Dicker, I've had him a few times. Yep, I've had Dicker a few times in my life. He's been okay. He's not been great, but I need somebody, so I'm going to bring him in. Running back Charbonnet. Is that my man's or not? Keaton Mitchell might fit a little bit better. We'll wait until this bid war free agency is over with and wait it out. Of course, could go Sam Cosmi. O-line's... We need a left guard. I mean, we got some money. Why not go Sam Cosmi? It's a 2-year deal. It's not going to cripple us. I think this is a good contract. Nobody else wants him as bad as us, so he should sign. He does. He's our new left guard. Easy. We're just replace our previous left guard. Kind of doubled in price, but still a massive upgrade on top of it. So we have pick number 12, and I did not really expect to have this high of a pick. We are in a very good spot. I don't know what spot is. Going forward with our depth and contracts and all that good stuff. So, I mean, it's really luxury pick city out here, and honestly, I don't really think we need anyone this high anyways. So we're probably going to accumulate a couple of extra picks. I like Hammond. He might be decent, like a pick 10 in the second round type of situation, or Ewing looks really good, so I mean, we might be able to grab multiple players. I think we might need to replace like a few DTs as well. We'll try to do that if we can. Moody is a pass rusher more than anything. Poole is more of a nose tackle type, and then Winslow is really the only proper DT there was. There was, really wasn't much going on. Looked at wide receiver, running back, just for the hell of it, and didn't really see anything in the wide receiver category. But yeah, this is going to be a massive trade down, which should get us a lot of draft capital. And honestly, I don't even really need that much. I'm going to go and trade down for next year. First, the second, and third next year from the Cardinals for this pick 12, which, I mean, I don't know what they're going to go for here. It's going to be a defensive end. I mean, realistically, we need nothing. But if we're thinking future-wise, thinking about what we could do this season to get better, at positions that aren't fully set in stone, I guess linebacker, I guess D-end might be those positions. And we're going to trade down again, which will end up taking 2 third-round players. I think we're going to take the linebacker and, of course, the DT. Assuming we get a decent trade. All right, there's a good one there. We'll take one at 60, and then at 92, we'll have the trade up to the early of the third round and grab the remaining of the 2. I think it's going to be linebacker first, DT second, and we will call it from there. Manny Ewing, 21 years old, 6'3", 250. Looks great, and another normal dev linebacker. Gotta love it. Surprisingly, 2/5 was enough to move up from, 28 to 5. A little surprised by that. The 5s were decent, I think, but still a little surprised by that. With this trade up, though, we are going to be going with Winslow, future-proofing the DT position if we can. A little raw, but hidden dev. I don't know if he's going to start over the other guy, Fisher, but Elix looks halfway decent. We trade a 3rd next year, a 7th this year, and Max Melton to the Jets for a 3rd-round pick. I think that's completely fair. Max Melton's still decently young, and he is star dev. With this trade up, I believe we're going to be taking Justin Hunter, the linebacker. I really don't like the normal dev. Give me a hidden. Thank you, Justin Hunter. The former Titans? Was it the Titans that drafted him? The guy I almost mistaken him with was the Jets taking Stephen Hill. That was another 6'4" dude. And for my final pick in the 7th round, I took John Scott, a hidden development trait, 95 overall, or 95 kick power kicker. He had a B with great accuracy, and I was like, that is good enough for me. Took a wide receiver in the 6th round. He was pretty bad, so not really much to write home about there. Let's take a look at the overalls that we took. The linebacker was very good. He just wasn't very hidden dev. Manny Ewing, normal dev, great block shed, okay athleticism. Not a pass rusher, but feels like he wants to be. Almost like they built him to be a pass rusher, and they just forgot to give him any sort of pass rush ability. 81 finesse for the DT, technically the right end. Winslow, I don't know if he's actually going to start or not, but he's here. Star dev, really haven't seen much like higher than stars. Actually, I don't think we've drafted a single player over star dev. Maybe Hunter was one of them. Let's take a look. And the kicker, obviously, if he is, I don't really care. Justin Hunter has a pretty high ceiling here, 21 years old, with pretty good balance for his block shed and zone coverage. Put him in something like the 50s, 53, why not? And ironically enough, yeah, we talk about it, and he is a superstar. Fair enough. And then John Scott, what did that accuracy look like? 75. Could be a superstar, but unlikely. Here we go, Season 4. Ironically enough, our only non-star dev lineman is the highest overall on the team for the offensive line position. ETN still yet to get to a 90+. He's 28 now, so I actually don't know if he ever will. 2 to speed he lost. Oh, no. This is like our best window, and then next season is like the absolute final window. Of course, we do have a really good backup tight end ready to start at any moment. Really not sure what's going on here. Is it just lack of playoffs that are just costing our overalls? Because I feel like this team is like stuck in like mid. And Winslow gets 10k XP for his camp stand-up. Wait, he's already a superstar? Did he actually get it? Wow, it is rare. It's like one every like 30 or maybe even less that we actually see this work out. Winslow as a starter has definitely been a good decision. Vaki, for some reason, just isn't a high overall. Maybe it's... Wait, is he being billed as a hybrid? Okay, that does make sense now. But the contract's not bad. I'm willing to do like a 4-year 26. That is super cheap for us. 68 million. Cooper DeJean, obviously. Hoping for that dev up, but a 6-year 45 is super steals. Patrick Paul, I mean, like I said, I think you're going to pay some linemen. A few linemen here or there. 46 million left. Taylor. I think we can afford Taylor. Right? Let's see. Very good block shedding. What's his seasons like? He had a pretty good one 2 years ago. He's actually having a really good year this year. I think he's worth it. I'm going to do a 4-year deal worth 58. Really? Okay, 4-year deal worth 60. Hopefully he gets it done. And we did have Derrick Henry, but obviously he's like really low overall compared to what he normally would be. So he's not as good, but I wonder what his ratings actually are. I think he was still pretty damn fast, if I'm not mistaken. 78 overall Derrick Henry is still 91 speed, 89 stiff arm. I mean, he's still all right. He's still all right. If we win this, could be a bye week, and it is. Okay, I was expecting not to actually have it. The Chiefs must not be as chiefly as normal. Actually, 4 teams all tied for 13-4. Chiefs not one of them, though, in fairness. And we are 13-4. I went with the Miami Dolphins offense, as we've had a little bit of success with it in the past, and it doesn't feel like it's an OP playbook. But, there was some downs at one point, but overall definitely won a lot more games than we lost, which is all I could ever ask for in a playbook. Still ran that Steelers defense, and, we did win, but at the same time, those numbers were horrendous. Those were terrible, but the defense cooked. Josh Allen with 17, Taylor with 11, Walker with 9, 6 for Winslow. Vaki could be an X-Factor. DeJean could be a superstar. But one thing that is for sure is that this scheme will need to change next season. I don't know how we got the damn bye week playing as bad as we did on offense. Winslow wins Rookie of the Year, but I don't think that's going to really change anything. Follin is now Superstar Dev, and Josh Allen wins an award as well. Nice! Another rarity. Camp Standout to Superstar, and an offensive lineman getting a dev up in Sim. That's actually kind of busted. All right, 89 overall against the Chargers, 84 overall. I don't know who they beat, but they're not the best of team yet. They did have to win to get here. We've mentioned it before. Year 4 is our year, although, holy crap, 14-3 is not our score. 14-6, defense is trying, but offense is just doing literally nothing. I remember this being a problem with the Dolphins scheme as well. 6 whole points in the playoffs so far. We've scored 12 points in 2 playoff games. We would be damn fired, that's for sure. Oh, no. You have to run specific schemes to win. It's super fun. These are the numbers. Jalen Warren, of all names, is cooking, of course. Joey Bosa, 4.5 sacks. And that's a very lackluster bye week's playoff run. It really is frustrating, though. Just like trying to run different playbooks and realizing it's run the Chiefs or something. Like, it's just the only way to win. They take our spot and waste it, as well as the Bengals are playing against the Cowboys in the Super Bowl, not the Chargers, and the Packers win it over the Bengals. Let's take a look at the dev-ups. Did we have any on offense? I'm trying to think. Maybe the running back? Nope, ETN does not go up in dev. Thurston's kind of a mid overall still, too. Winslow doesn't go up in dev. Doesn't really surprise us. Hunter was already a superstar. And then Vaki does go to X-Factor, though. Taylor did go to... No, he stayed a star, didn't he? Vaki's an X Factor, though. Got to Superstar in an end-of-season upgrade, and then, boom, here we are. Let's take a look at Taylor. He was Star already, right? So he should have went to Superstar probably on the 11 sacks that he had as a block-shedding run stopper, but sure, whatever tickles your pickle. We're not going to argue it, I guess. To the re-signings, which we've pretty much taken care of anyways, but still kind of curious. Final season. Definitely going to be running a little bit of a stronger playbook. Falcons didn't get it done, though, and either did the Dolphins, so... And outside of like the Cowboys or the freaking Chiefs, not really much left to go for anyways. Evan Ingram's been great for us, but ultimately it is time to be moving on. And same with a lot of these other like weapons. No fifth-year options, though, going forward, which I don't know what to think about that. Free agency's a little juicy, can't lie. Jalen Carter is a hell of a name. Don't really need him, though, and we really don't have that kind of money. Jalen Ramsey doesn't really help us that much, and the rest of it is a little, a little iffy. Of course, Fautanu, a lot of money there. Trey Benson, not a bad backup running back. I might actually pay him that kind of money. We don't have a backup, and at 25 years old, you never know. Could be the starter at one point. Nobody wants him as hard as we do. Turn into a damn pirate there. I gotta say, though, Trevor Lawrence has been kind of mid in this rebuild. He's not a bad rating, but his overall is kind of low, and he's not played well overall. Fullen, obviously, now a superstar. Future-proofing the O-line position is definitely a need. Wide receiver is also on the list as Gabe Davis, 89 overall, but that is kind of his like last season of being like close to a 90 or above 90. And defensively, D-line probably need a new nose tackle. Hancock really didn't do much outside of his like rookie year pretty much, and I don't really want to pay him long-term because of that. Edge maybe, but yeah, I mean, this is a really good team, and making the playoffs is one thing, but not even winning a single playoff game, I'm just shocked. Oh, by the way, I kind of learned that the Cardinals were the worst team in the entire league when I was looking to maybe trade for a wide receiver. Lost 13 straight games, and I'll show you guys I didn't, force any losses to get a better draft pick. Just kind of the Cardinals doing what the Cardinals do, and just not making good first-round draft pick trades. I was about to look at us. That's pretty irrelevant. But yeah, look at this Cardinals team. Oh my. What is this offer? Like, what are we doing here? I'm going to probably trade him to the Giants, but obviously not for Thibodeau. Like, that's just stupid. I'll offer him for like, I don't even know, like a third, maybe a fourth. Kind of depends on where they are. They're like a playoff team, third, but I don't think they're going to be a playoff team. They were the third highest overall, so pick 99 for a needing contract interior. I don't even know if he's a rusher. I guess he's better at getting to the quarterback than he is at stopping the run. But the first pick overall, there is nobody, in my opinion, that is first pick overall worthy. A bunch of teams trying to move around. We get a whole first-round pick to move back one spot. Obviously, that means that the Buccaneers do want to make a play for a quarterback, I would imagine. And I'm willing to do that. A whole first round next year with 2 fifth-round picks to move one spot, and they physically can't take who I want because I have multiple of them, and it's for a tackle. My picks are pass rushers, which is why I'm like, you can't take my guy because I have multiple of them. A power move, B finesse, B block shed, B play rack, B A awareness, A tackle. I will say Spiegel does look insanely good though. Kerry Herron, another pass rusher. I mean, I figure if you're going to be drafting this high, it's got to be pass rusher. And I mean, we could use pass rusher. Josh Allen's, he's regressing. He's regressing a little bit. I think those two guys, Spiegel's probably the better of the two. What is the team that is next to us? The Giants. They've been trying to trade off that pass rusher. I mean, they're trying to trade off Thibodeau. Do I take a linebacker at number 2 overall, even though we don't technically need one? I mean, Spiegel's not on the faster side, but he is very talented. Look at all the A's where it matters, and a lot of B's where it matters too. I'm going to go Nick Spiegel. He is at a Nev. That's a great start. 85 speed, 86 XL. Also, probably a little more athletic than I would have thought. So, I mean, so far a dubber. And then, who the hell is this center? Eric McMahon, Wisconsin, 23. Kind of looks promising. Probably going to be a generational, but don't really need linemen that bad. Neal, another pass rusher, is definitely on my list, kind of, but personally, I would like a new wide receiver. McLaughlin's good, but there looks like a guaranteed... Nah, McLaughlin's my guy. Normal dev, of course. But to say guaranteed what looks to be superstar. Well, that's kind of gone now, isn't it? I mean, it's really not, but we maybe regret the move we just made. The wide receiver I was looking at is Lowry. He's like elite in everything. But this group of players isn't the best, so do I not just take Neal for the value? I'm going to take Neal for the value. Power move, 22 years old, and we've got the most depth we've ever had at edge in a rebuild. Like a rebuild that's like semi-realistic. Pick 38 or 28 this round, and then pick 28 next round. We don't really need a linebacker that bad. Could use a lineman. Who's the best? Steve O'Neal looks pretty damn good. So does Saxton, but Steve O'Neal looks a little safer. Steve O'Neal's my guy. Hidden Dev win. There's actually a lot of good linemen in this class, too. Go to the next round, though, because I don't really need any of those linemen. I don't really need a whole lot of anything. Pick 3 in the 4th round. That's probably where I would take Lowry, if he's even there still. We don't really have much things to draft, so I'm going to take Telvin Lowry right now. 6'1", 179. Look at all that speed. Is he? He's not. 99 speed, 99 cell, 99 agility, though, which is like literally max. I don't know if I've ever had that, but no hidden dev either. Unfortunate. The linebacker's there. I suppose I'd take him. And then we start the trade down process. Linebacker Antoine Johnson, kind of raw, but, why not? And there he is, and dev. We take those little mini wins. And we got another one of those like kind of funky like builds where they're like not the fastest, but their agility is pretty damn elite. This has got to be a superstar. All right, hidden. We have seen this build before, and I think we might have actually finally seen some sort of superstar. All right, 14 mil left apparently for salary cap, and we actually landed some goons. I mean, 75, 76, 75, 74... 70, 73, and 77. This guy had to be a superstar. He had to be 5'8". Release is bad. Great short route. Decent catching. Not a lot of speed, but has all the catching traits. Decent little bit of agility and juke ability. Great acceleration. Unbelievable. With hidden. And he is a superstar. What a goon. McLaughlin, of course, normal dev. Kind of defeating the purpose of the draft pick that we had here with that last player. I mean, he's a little more pro-ready, but the other guy is just better in a lot of ways. Nick Spiegel could be the future right out. Look at that power move. Wonder what that dev is. At least, please, superstar. It'd be great to see X Factor with the dev of... Okay, fair enough. Pick 2 overall. Maybe it is nice drafting up that high, because I am not used to these elitenesses. Anything else? O'Neal. I did kind of like him, and I kind of felt like I believed in him to be like a decent overall, but he's not going to play anyways right now. Spec is great. Catching traffic is great. Catching is terrible, though, for the 99 speed. Pretty much everything, but no juke ability either. We also have a pending trade, which is just like a complete L for us. I'll take a running back for him. I don't know if we have to pay him, but a 5th and a 7th with that running back for Reed. We'll take him. Here it is, the final season of the rebuild, and I gotta say, the team is definitely far from one of our best overalls. And with that being said, I'm gonna actually try the Cowboys scheme, because it's usually supposed to be so goated, and I almost never use it. This is almost an emergency situation, so I'm gonna be running it. And yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of high dev players, but the overalls didn't quite get that high, which I have the sliders on the exact same as normal. Once again, maybe just lack of early success with the playoffs is a big part of the reason why we're struggling. I don't know, but let's get it. The Cowboys scheme, let's see how goated it is. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. We missed the playoffs. Not saying we're the best team in the world, but an 89 overall team should not be missing the playoffs. Take a look at the stats and awards on our way out of this lackluster finish. I mean, 39 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 4,600 yards. When has a quarterback ever put up those numbers and missed the playoffs? I genuinely don't know what went on. 3 1,000-yard receivers, and Henning actually played pretty well. Is it just the Jaguars? Did EA just not see them being good? I mean, combined for 30 sacks on the edge, another like 20 on the inside. I genuinely don't know how we missed the playoffs this season. What am I missing? Let's see the ranks. 2nd in offensive yardage. 7th in defensive yardage. 3rd in scoring. And then points allowed, is that best in the league? It is top 6 in the league at freaking scores allowed. And yet we missed. We went, what was it, 8 and 9? Or 9 and 8? One of the two, with a rank of 2, 7, 3, 6 for the most important rankings or stats in the league. I genuinely don't understand what just happened, but I would like a refund. Thank you very much. 3rd in MVP, can't even make the playoffs. I'm certain of it. Hatcher was Rookie of the Year. I really don't know what to know. I don't know what to say. I mean, it's a GG. It is what it is. We lost, but really, are we just that low of an overall? Because, I mean, we are only an 89 overall at this point. We've seen 93, 94 plus. But you look at the average in the league, 89, there's 1. And, I mean, the Chiefs are the highest overall, but they're, like, goated. 90 for the Niners. It's literally, like, 4 teams are either as good of an overall as us or higher. That's it. Well, actually, no, 3, because I think I might have counted myself. 3 or 4. 3 or 4 teams, yet we went... Did we even go 500? We went 9 and 8. That is beyond pathetic, Simon. That is beyond pathetic, coding. That is just so pathetic. But you know what? We get to see the Packers and the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Makes sense. Obviously, those two teams goated, specifically the Patriots. And the winner is, ironically enough, the Patriots. Take a look at how the players developed. For some players, not at all. Trevor Lawrence does go to X Factor. Hatcher was already Superstar, so that's kind of irrelevant. But Trevor Lawrence X Factor with 95 throw power, 91 deep, 92 medium, 86 short. Under pressure is pretty good. Play action's good enough. Break sack, good enough. Throwing the run's definitely iffy, and awareness is okay, but obviously supremely fast. ETN is really low overall now. That is unfortunate. Maybe that was a big part of why we sucked. And not really. Lost 26 points just there, so he was probably like an 87, 88 overall before the season even began. Gabe Davis, a little bit of a regression, but he's still fine, and we do have him for one more year. I think that contract actually kind of worked out perfectly for us. Then we move on to Mr. Thurston, who's only an 84 overall at this point. He's 25 now. Short route is definitely not great, but everything else is pretty good. Then we move over to Hatcher, who's already an 83 overall. I suppose playmaker because he needs a lot of everything, so why not go for the upgrade that usually gives us a lot of everything? Mainly ball carrier vision type stuff, but obviously a bright future ahead of him after winning Rookie of the Year. Heading brand new to the squad, but 81 overall nonetheless. Well, maybe not brand new, but very new to the squad. Super athlete and trying to make his way onto the scene. Let's take a look at Harrison and I suppose Paul, because Paul was a real-life quote-unquote drafted player, and then Anton Harrison was actually drafted or picked up by the Jaguars. I don't remember. No, he was a first-round pick. I don't know what the hell I'm thinking, but we'll take a look at Paul as well. Patrick Paul, super tall. Finesse block is not that great, but everything else is very good, so very tall. Maybe he needs to go to guard anyways. Defensively, Taylor, 83 overall. He was serviceable. Had a couple of decently elite seasons. 89 block sheds, really good for stopping the run, obviously. Then we look at Winslow, who's a superstar. Kind of bursts onto the scene. 96 finesse, pretty athletic. Strength of 88. I believe he had 85 to start, so pretty impressive glow up if that actually is true, which I'm pretty sure it is. Cooper DeJean, 26 years old now, star, 90 man, 94 speed, 94 excel, 79 zone, good enough. Great tackling as well, but safety's kind of thrown out the window now as, we built him to be more of a man corner, which I'm not really sure that's how it works, but still. Hancock, 92, power move for a nose tackle should be truly illegal. Not that it really have helped him that much. Campbell, his ceiling seems to be reached. 29 years old, star. He's going down, not up. Still good enough, but yeah. Glad that he's on 1 or 2 season contract because he kind of needs to be replaced. Dorsett, 23 years old, started at 20. He is absolutely him. Really good scheme fit as well. Keep that man coverage coming. Then the safeties, Vaki. 85 overall, he actually got to a pretty good overall. The problem is his, archetype was, hybrid, so 87 man, which is great, but only 79 zone, which for a safety is kind of unfortunate. Andre Cisco, 87 zone coverage, pretty decent overall, and athletic. Then move on to linebackers, which we didn't really get to see too much of, Mr. Walker. And this is why we went Spiegel, because you look at Josh Allen, he's 32. I think he needs a contract next season, but only 85 finesse. He is absolutely beyond his prime, and it was smart timing to give Spiegel. Obviously, it helps when you have the second pick overall. Trayvon Walker with 92 to his power move. Pretty much only has a bull rush, in fairness. But let's look at Hunter now. 81 overall, 23-year-old. High ceiling with that block shed. Definitely being his weak side, but very good in coverage. Athletic, obviously. And then we move on to the final player, which is Devin Lloyd, who ended up becoming a true number one middle linebacker, even with Aluakun gone. 89 overall. Pretty balanced player. Not the fastest, but very smart, very good. And I really do apologize that this is a anticlimactic ending, but I suppose kind of shows you that, there's nothing scripted, and you just don't know what the hell you're going to walk into. As after last season, we got the bye week and all that, I was like, oh, there it is, another year 4 Super Bowl win. I bet you everyone's going to love seeing that. And instead, they see us not even make the playoffs in the final season as the tied for top 5 overall team in the game, or in the league at this point, if you will. Really disappointing stuff, but I felt like we did a pretty damn good job. We actually managed the cap better than most of the teams we've built, especially for a team that actually did need to be paid like 40 or 50 mil to a quarterback right away. But regardless, like I said, if you guys enjoyed this one, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, do appreciate continued support on the channel a ton. Maybe let me know in the comment section below what team you'd like to see next, or a challenge rebuild idea you might have. I already have one ready to go for Sunday, but I obviously have to actually do it. And that's pretty much it. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel, PKR Plays for non-Madden content. Might have a Spider-Man video up tomorrow there, as it's been a little while. Try to finish the game if we can. But that's about it. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys come back for next video, but until next video, see ya.